Well, welcome. My name's Eric.
My name's Chris.
Nice to meet you. How are you doing today?
We're doing good.
Okay, great. Well, I appreciate you coming in for this role. What makes you interested in the online sales associate?
Well, I have a good handle on using computers, and I am usually referred to as the tech guy in the family.
And can you tell me a little bit more about that tech side of you? So what makes you the tech guy?
Well, family members often come to me when there's a technical problem that they have, like if a computer is doing funny messages, like an error message, or audio's not working, or it's taking unusually long for a computer to boot up, or anything like that. I usually work my magic into it.
Okay. A lot of people with autism spectrum disorders can be very focused and have a lot of passion, but you have to identify those things. So asking questions that pull from their drive and their a lot of times they're not going to go into roles that they don't have any, reason behind it. So seeing what those things are that they enjoy about the job that they're applying for, and maybe using that strength within them and pairing that to the job that they're going to be doing. So this particular role, you're going to be going through and taking pictures, posting pictures, researching things online to get the prices and things like that. Can you tell me about your past experiences that you think would help out with this role?
Well, I had a course in college that was for photography, and I would believe that the usage of taking a proper photo of an object or a thing and making sure the customer can understand what they're looking at is very important.
Can you tell me a little bit more about your class? Like, what did you do, or how did you learn the skills to take those pictures?
We used a variety of camera settings, such as like ISO or the focal length or various camera technical jargon.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's a lot that went into it.
And this role too, you'd be searching on eBay, kind of going through. So what's your comfort level with doing searches and kind of
I can absolutely keep up with that. I have performed many searches, even with the technical thing that I mentioned before in the family. I often find myself having to research the problem and find a solution with it. And I do many upon many researches before I attempt something.
Okay. Tell me about a manager that you appreciated working for in the past, and what do you want to see in a manager moving forward?
Oh, a manager that I've worked in the past has understood some of the problems that I can come across and has a generally good idea on how to work with them. Usually keeping in contact with the manager if I have a question or two is more than optimal.
When I asked him the question about his supervisors, or a supervisor he had in the past that he appreciated, that he liked, and then what is he looking for in a supervisor now. I could kind of tell that he didn't really understand what I was looking for. So he kind of said a couple of things, and I think he got to a little bit better answer with that way. Realizing now, or learning now, maybe giving examples of types of managers. If he ask him a question, do you like working with somebody that's straightforward and gives you lists on tasks, or do you like working with a manager that kind of lets you do your own thing, and as you're on it yourself would probably be a better way of getting the answer that I was looking for? Have you ever had a time where you disagreed with a team member, and how did you handle that situation?
Well, unfortunately, my previous job was more of a solo kind of gig. There wasn't a point where I was working with a team.
Okay.
Sometimes when you have to explain a situation or come up with a time that, like for example, if you were to get in an argument with a coworker or disagree with something, some of those can be kind of hard if you haven't exactly been put in that situation.
Just by chance, coming in this role, let's say you had disagreed with somebody, how would you handle that situation?
Well, I would try to see their point first to see, okay, if I disagree, I know my point obviously, but let's hear yours, and then we can compare and see what we can do to compromise.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. I know that this job description, you kind of read through it. This is something that you feel like you can do?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. Is there anything that you think that you need help with before you're able to kind of do this job fully?
If anything, I would like to know the process of any particular company-related programs that you would like me to use or get familiarized with in terms of as far as posting the software or the product on a certain website and what website you want me to do that with.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. And that's something that we do with all of our new hires is go through the training process, what we use, and everything like that too. So that's all the questions that I have for you. Do you have any questions for me or about our company?
What if there was an object that I wanted to buy myself?
Online?
Yeah,
that came into the system?
Yeah, if I saw an object come in and I wanted to say actually purchase it, how would I go about doing that?
Great question. For this role, obviously we want to make sure that you're appreciated and we want to say thank you. So some things that we would be able to do is a 10% discount and going through and just once you go through and figure out what the actual price of that would be, is we would take the 10% off of that and that would be the price that you'd be able to get.
Okay.
When I asked him, did you have any questions for me about this job? He answered about if he could buy some of the products. Seemed like since he had a passion for electronics and everything that we did at that job, it was kind of a perk of it. You know, like I'm going to be working with all of this cool stuff I wanted. So it was kind of it seemed like more of a personal question. And so my question originally was more so geared towards the job description and things like that. So, you know, everybody has their passion, everybody has their hobby, you know, and you can't mark somebody against for what they really like doing. Realized that wasn't the intent of my question, but I understood that's what he was thinking and what's something that he wanted. So I answered the question, but then I realized that you have to kind of revert back and ask the question more specifically so I went back and I asked him more of a detailed question about the role and if he had any questions about the job itself. Any other kind of questions about the role, about the job responsibilities or anything like that?
What would be the work shift?
So traditional business hours, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5:30. Does that work for you?
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Well, if you don't have any other questions for me, I think that's all I have for you. So the next steps is I'm going to take all of information, pass it to our sales team, as well as our manager, and then we'll be able to reach back out to you in a couple days with an answer.
All right.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming in today, Chris.
Thank you too.
Absolutely.